How many days of the week would you do 3 days?
Monday through Friday.
Was there any point you thought like, I might legit quit today?
Oh yeah. I mean, I binged probably 4 or 5 times in the 16 weeks.
Give me the before and after numbers.
27% body fat. I was like 196 pounds.
And then day of
165 pounds, and I was 7% body fat.
Did you get what you wanted out of the experience?
Yes, I did. I really did.
All right. Eddie.
What's going on, my man?
Hey, thanks for coming.
Appreciate you having me.
First of all, congratulations on your first bodybuilding competition.
Thank you, man.
How'd that feel, man?
It was awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome experience, awesome atmosphere. I had a blast.
Hell yeah, man. That's freaking great. How long did you like prepare for it?
16-week prep.
16-week prep. So before that 16 weeks, what was that like before that?
I was out of shape.
Oh, so you literally started 16 weeks. You signed up.
I have a photo I'll show you. I was 27% body fat. I had rolls. I was very out of shape. Wasn't in any shape to go do a bodybuilding competition.
No shit. Okay, so 16 weeks from start to event.
Start to event, 16 weeks exactly.
That's pretty awesome, man.
January 15th is when I started prep.
Okay. I mean, that's incredible then, because just to imagine like what's possible in 16 weeks, because I saw you on stage, man. You looked phenomenal.
Appreciate it, man.
You know, like doesn't matter like where you place or anything. Like you looked absolutely incredible.
Thanks, brother.
You know, I mean,
I worked hard, man. I worked really hard.
You know, it's crazy because when we first met, you know, you were a little heavier.
I was.
You know, nothing crazy. You know, you weren't like obese.
I was like 226 pounds. Probably.
Were you really?
I was heavy, man.
Oh, you carried it well, though.
Appreciate it.
I didn't think you were that
I didn't like
heavy.
what I saw when I looked in the mirror.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Well, I kind of wanted to ask you because I don't remember how long ago it was, whether it was around this January, if it was before that. But I remember you sent a message, or we were shooting the shit in a group chat with the boys, and you said something along the lines of, hey, you know, why didn't anybody tell me that I was getting fat?
Yeah.
You know,
Oh, yeah.
I don't remember when that was.
Probably a couple years ago, probably.
Has it been that long?
It's
already?
probably been a couple years, yeah. I lost all that weight a couple years ago.
Okay.
Yeah, I think January, it was 2019, so quite a bit ago. Yeah, 2019 is when I lost, when I went from 226 down to like 180, 190.
Okay, nice.
I lost a good bit of weight.
Nice. How tall are you?
5. Funny thing is, I thought I was 5'8", but I obviously got measured at registration.
Okay.
And she was like 5'6 3/4. I was like, what? Like, no. I'm like, this scale has to be wrong. But evidently I'm 5'6 3/4.
That's very precise.
Yeah.
Well, maybe on a good spine day.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. I thought the scale or the tape was off. It had to have been.
Had to be. Yeah. All it depends on shoe wear.
Yeah, exactly.
All that. Yeah. No, it's funny, but it got me thinking. Like, everyone's always very delicate about approaching people, you know, whether it's their spouse or a friend or, I mean, hell, even a stranger or even worse, right? Like, how do you mention to someone like, hey, you put on some pounds, you know? So I wanted to ask you, in your opinion, how would you have best received that message from a group of friends?
I think you guys did exactly what you needed to do and just mind your own business. Honestly, I mean, because I don't know how I wouldn't feel comfortable with telling any friend, close friend, family member at all that I think, hey, you need to start watching what you eat. You know, I think you guys handled it how you should have.
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
I was being funny when I said that. Like, you didn't tell me, you know, I told Sarah too. You didn't tell me, you know?
Yeah.
But no, I think you guys handled it how you should have.
That's good to know. Yeah. Hey, perfect answer, because I mean, you know, no one really knows how to approach that.
Exactly.
You know, I know, like, for example, Christine has told me in the past, like, you better tell me if I start putting on weight. I'm like, how?
No way.
How possibly could you expect me to tell you, my wife, that you're putting on a few? Like,
maybe supporting her in that, and hey, maybe we both need to start being more active, and hey, maybe we both need to start, you know, eating more whole foods and watching what we eat.
Yeah,
maybe that's probably the best solution to do it, honestly. But it's still hard. It's still a hard conversation.
Yeah. Funny enough, we that's sort of what we've been doing. Just being more mindful of the types of food we've been buying and cooking, and trying to stay away from fast food.
Actually look at the ingredients when you pick something up. Like, that's important, man. That's important. It's really important.
So
and I've learned that.
That's great. Yeah. So, give me the before and after numbers. You were, so January, you said
27% body fat. I was like 196 pounds.
okay. And then day of, morning of, let's say.
So I got my body fat tested. Show was on a Saturday. I got my body fat tested like that Thursday.
Okay.
Thursday morning, fasted. They recommend doing it fasted. And I was 165 pounds, and I was 7% body fat.
Damn.
I put in work, man. I really did.
Dude,
I'm proud of
that's
all the
incredible.
work
You
I put
should
in,
be
man.
proud,
It was
man.
miserable, buddy. It was miserable.
For what it's worth, I'm proud as hell.
appreciate
of you,
it, man.
That's
I do.
incredible. So 19% body fat in 16 weeks.
Yeah.
That's wild, man. And it shows.
Yeah.
It shows, man. Like, I don't know what I expected to see, you know, because I mean,
We hadn't seen you in a while. It had been a while since then, yeah.
yeah, I haven't seen you in a while, and also just I don't know what it looks like when someone does, goes into bodybuilding for the very first time. Like we've all seen that meme picture, right? Of like all the regular looking bodybuilders and like the white pale,
yeah.
like, kind of fat guy,
Out
or
of
whatever.
place guy.
I didn't think you'd be that
Yeah,
guy,
yeah.
but like I don't know what to expect. And then sure enough, man, you look like a damn stud.
I
up
appreciate
there.
it, man.
Dude,
I
dude,
appreciate
I was
it.
all jealous of that. Man. Look at myself in the mirror, like ugh. But like what motivated you to go into it?
I mean, there were multiple things. One is I did set a goal. I mean, everyone sets this goal, but to get into the best shape of my life, in January. And and I really wanted to test, how disciplined I am. I wanted to test just if I could do it, man. I mean, it's something extremely difficult to do. And I just wanted to really challenge myself physically, mentally. And I also went to a bodybuilding, my first time ever going and attending as a spectator at a bodybuilding competition last year. And the atmosphere, I loved it, man. I'm like, I would love to do this. Like,
Yeah.
And then what better way to really challenge yourself mentally, physically than to jump into a prep for a bodybuilding competition?
Yeah, that's awesome. So how old are you now?
32.
32. All right. So best shape of your life at 32.
I'm definitely in the best shape of my life at 32 years old.
That alone is
Yeah.
a huge accomplishment. So walk me through that prep. Like what does that look like? Because I feel like you touched on it a little bit that it's extremely difficult.
Yep.
I mean, a huge challenge on your fortitude and your mental capacity, let
Especially
alone
towards
the
the end.
physical.
Especially towards the end.
Right.
Starting prep was, I was overweight. So, I was eating a good bit of food and I was still losing weight. I was still doing, a little bit of cardio. Towards the end, you got pretty brutal. But, I was eating a good bit of calories, eating different types of foods. I was eating yogurt, Greek yogurt, rice cakes. I was doing, it was all right. It was easy. I could do it. No problem. But it got harder and food got taken away. Cardio went up further along the process. It just got harder and harder and harder and harder. And trying to do towards the end 2 hours of cardio a day on 1,200 calories it's very hard.
I mean, I feel like you're borderline close to death, like on stage.
I mean, yeah. If you think about it, if you're in a calorie deficit, you take your basal metabolic rate, and you subtract it, 300, 400 from it, and you'll lose weight. You maybe a pound, a half pound a week. So I was eating 1,200 calories, but I was burning more than that doing just doing 2 hours cardio, my workout. I was burning like 1,400 calories a day, and I was only eating 1,200. So it's like I wasn't eating.
So what was your lifting schedule like throughout? How did that change throughout?
Lifting stayed the same.
Okay.
Lifting didn't change. Pretty much stayed the same. Cardio is what changed a lot.
Okay. And your lift was like your very like traditional style.
I did one body part a day.
Right. Isolation type stuff. Okay.
Yep. And just hammered it. Just really went hard on that body part.
And how difficult would you say was that part? Just going as hard as you can on the lifting side.
Very easy when I was getting fed. Very, very difficult when I wasn't getting fed.
Yeah.
When my carbs were gone and I was depleted, and it was very hard.
So did you go through a bulking portion
Never
when you first
bulking.
started?
No, I was so, like I said, overweight. I had to immediately start cutting.
Okay, gotcha.
The entire 16 weeks I was in a deficit.
Gotcha. Oh wow.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Which is not good for your body.
Yeah. Well, no wonder it's so difficult.
It's very hard on your body.
So let me ask you then. I mean, was there any point throughout that you second guessed it and you thought like I might legit quit today?
Oh yeah. I mean, I binged probably 4 or 5 times in the 16 weeks.
Did you?
Binged. And I'm talking binged. Like,
how bad?
I probably ate 3,000 to 5,000 calories in an hour or two of just Parker's, my son's snacks. You know,
Oh,
because
like
you know
that?
he's not gonna have a toddler, so and they have great snacks.
Yeah.
So I mean,
yeah.
I mean, he'd wake up, he'd have no food because I'd eat it all.
So
I
just
did that
whatever was
probably 4 or
available?
5 times, and what's crazy is every single time I did it, I threw up.
Wow.
Every time, it's like my body was like, "Whoa, this isn't chicken and rice."
Mhm.
You know, it was like, no, yeah, I don't know what this is. I haven't had this in a long time.
Every time you threw up from
Every
it.
single time I binged, I threw up.
That's wild.
Yeah.
That's interesting. That, I mean, because I'm assuming then if you did it 4 or 5 times, I mean, the first time must have been pretty early on.
Yeah.
How many weeks in would you say?
No, not really, man. Most of the times was more towards the end.
Oh,
when it got
really?
really hard, yeah. When
Oh,
it got
okay,
really
okay,
hard,
okay.
yeah. It's like I was just so hungry.
Mm-hmm.
I just couldn't control it.
Yeah, yeah.
I realized literally Sarah would be yelling at, stop. You're going to regret this in the morning. And sure enough, I'd regret it that night when I was vomiting.
So you're already throwing up that night, like,
Yeah,
like
that
shortly
evening.
after.
Yeah, maybe maybe an hour or two after. It's like my body's like, yeah, no, we're going to get rid of this.
That's crazy. I mean,
Yeah.
that makes more sense then because you're probably already a couple months in. Your body's so acclimated to
Yeah.
this very strict diet. I mean, how many carbs were you having?
I mean, towards the end, I was eating around 300 grams of carbs a day,
Okay.
which is solid. But
Yeah.
like I said, it slowly decreased as time went on. So,
Yeah.
and at the end, the last 2 weeks, I didn't have any carbs at all.
Okay.
That's when shit hit the fan. That's when it
Yeah.
got really, really difficult.
Yeah. I can only
Yeah.
imagine. I don't think I can do that now.
No,
let
it's not
alone
healthy
after.
for you. You shouldn't.
Yeah.
You shouldn't.
Yeah.
It was mainly to get the water out of me. You know, that the process of dehydration.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
what it was.
That's extra crazy. So was it the time that you had to spend, focused in between the lifting and the cardio and obviously a lot of food prep and all that? Did you find any challenges just balancing the time
Yes.
investments?
Just about every day.
Yeah.
Just about every single day, man. That you get home and I have my son. I want to play with him, but I mean, I have to cook chicken. I have to prep for tomorrow. I have to do an hour of cardio. It's just it was a damper on my family and my life. That's why I'll never do it again. But it's something that I checked off my bucket list. It's something that I've wanted to do for the last couple of years. I was like, I set a goal. I'm like, I'd love to do this, and I did it. And I'm happy it's over. That's all I can say. And now mainly my goal mainly now is to just maintain a healthy life, man. Don't get heavy again, stay at a decent body fat percentage, eat whole foods.
I feel like that's
Just
one of
make
the
better
hardest parts.
decisions. Yeah, it is. It's 90% of it. I've been in the gym for 10 years, man. And I've never looked how I look. And
Yeah,
it's all diet. It's
Yeah.
all your diet.
Mm-hmm.
Everything you put in your mouth.
Do you find that you're more attuned with your body and how it feels from what you put in it now?
100%.
Yeah.
100%. A couple things that I noticed is my digestion was incredible. It was like I've always thought, oh, I have IBS. I don't think I do. I think my body just doesn't like processed foods.
Yeah, you had.
I was
shitty
literally
foods.
it was incredible, man. Like my digestion was on point the entire 16 weeks.
That's crazy.
Had no bowel issues. Had no. Like every morning prior to this, I'd wake up and I'd be dying on the toilet.
Yeah.
And the entire 16 weeks,
Wow.
perfect. Like had no issues going to the bathroom. Nice, soft,
Yeah,
solid
yeah,
boobs.
yeah,
You know,
yeah,
just great. No issues at all. And then my skin.
Oh.
So I am on TRT. I've been on TRT, which is testosterone replacement therapy for people that don't know, for about 1.5 years now. And I always thought that, that's the reason I have acne.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
Evidently not, because clearly, I mean, I'm in competition for bodybuilding prep, so I was taking a little more than I normally do.
Sure.
With testosterone. I had zero acne the entire time. It's the food I was eating.
That makes a lot of sense.
It was 100% the food I was eating. It cleared my skin up like crazy.
It sucks that it's surprising in a sense. Like we hear this and it's like, oh wow, what an amazing change, what an amazing improvement. But then you sit back and think about it and you're like, duh.
Yeah, it makes sense. It makes total sense.
Hold on, not drinking soda and eating clean foods is gonna make me feel better all around, inside and out.
Inside and out.
And I feel like the digestion issues, I feel like it's one of those things where you don't realize how good it can be when it works normally until it works normally again.
Exactly.
Because we just get so used to how it is, or whether it's unpredictable, or, you know, you go through your ups and downs or whatever. And then finally, when you go through a time span where it's acting the way it's supposed to be, the way we're designed to process food, all of a sudden it's like, oh, it's like being a kid again.
Yeah.
Right?
Seriously.
That's awesome, man. So you said you'll never do it again.
No.
Understandably so.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a big sacrifice. Do you think there's any sacrifice that you had to make that you didn't anticipate before starting? Because I'm assuming, you know, you looked into it beforehand, you kind of understood like what you'd have to go through and the whole process, but was there anything you didn't expect?
I understood what I was going to have to go through, but I didn't realize like how much it took, like how much time it took away from my family and from my, you know, my career, and just, I mean, that I didn't expect that. I didn't expect to have such an effect on my everyday life. I really didn't. And I don't know why. I guess I should have maybe done a little more research, but I didn't expect it to have the significance it had on my family, my career, everything.
I feel like that's true of many things, that you can hear the testimonials from people as much as you want. You can read as many books as you want, whatever, but until you actually experience it, you'll never know. You'll never really be able to even imagine what it's actually going to do to you, because everyone's going to experience it differently. Yeah. So,
I mean, I had to bring food, like anywhere I'd go.
I remember,
anywhere I'd go, I'd have to prep food. We went on vacation one time, right in the middle of prep, and I mean, I literally had to prep like 16 meals for the 2 days that we were going. Like it was brutal, and I had to, you know, eat those meals. I had to go to the gym while I was on vacation. Never again.
Now, never again for you, but would you recommend it to anybody?
I mean, I would, if you have the desire to bodybuild and to do that, but it's I mean, like I said, it's really, really hard on your everyday life. Like it's great for like maybe a single guy, you know, that it's a bodybuilder that, you know, goes to the gym and just wants to challenge himself. That I would say go for it, absolutely. But a guy that's married, has kids, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Gotcha.
Wouldn't recommend it.
Nice. Yeah. So what are some habits then that you picked up throughout the process that you think you're going to actually maintain for the long run?
Eating, making better decisions when eating. That's 100%. Like reading ingredients, weighing my food. That's something I absolutely will continue to do. Cardio, you know, that's something I will absolutely continue to do. You know, nothing crazy like I was doing like my 2 hours a day. And the stair stepper I'll never touch again. That thing is, tell you what, buddy, I'll never touch that again. But I will walk on an incline mainly for, you know, cardiovascular health. Sure. You know, and to decrease, so I can eat more food.
Right. Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's calories in, calories out. So if I, you know, burn 400, 500 calories, and, you know, that's 400 or 500 more I can eat. So
yeah. Makes sense.
But yeah, that's what I would say. Yeah, just the weighing my food, the cardio, and actually reading ingredients and eating more whole foods.
Do you think anything about like your daily routine, as far as like I'm assuming you have to get up extra early and stuff like that?
Yeah, I had to. I was getting up at for a while. I was getting to the gym around 4 a.m. for a while, for most of prep. I was doing that
Jocko Willing stuff, huh?
And then, like I said, when my calories got really low, and I just couldn't, dude. I couldn't get out of bed. I was so tired, so exhausted. So I started getting there around 5:30 instead. So I slept in an extra hour.
Wow.
But 5:30, yeah, I had to go. I had to do cardio for an hour. I had to get on the Stairmaster, fasted, nothing on my belly.
Yeah.
5:30 a.m. to 6:30. I'd go home. You ready for work? Go to work. Go work out on my lunch break. So I really didn't get a lunch break. I'd have to spend an hour in the gym working out, and then I have a treadmill at my house. I'd have to do an hour of cardio when I go home in the evening.
So 3 days, basically.
For
how many days of the week would you do 3 days?
Monday through Friday.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Monday through Friday. Because I had to work. Saturday, Sunday were, you know, much more lenient. I didn't have to go to work, so I could, you know, I could go to the gym and do cardio and work out in the morning.
Oh, I gotcha.
And then just have my day with my family, and then in the evening, you know, a lot of times when Parker would go to bed, my son would go to bed, is around 8 o'clock is when I'd get on the treadmill for an hour.
Right. So would you take Sundays off?
Sunday.
exercise?
So Sunday was an off day for working out.
Okay.
I didn't train, but I did do cardio. I
Oh.
did cardio 7 days a week.
Oh, wow.
But I only did an hour on Sunday. I didn't have to do 2 hours like I did Monday through Saturday.
Okay. So a lighter load on Sunday.
Lighter load.
Right.
And it was just on the treadmill. An hour, just an hour walk.
Right. And did you find yourself on a better like rest cycle doing it as well? Were you able to like sleep better or like wake up on time easier other than when you started having to really cut?
I had issues sleeping almost the entire 16 weeks.
Really?
Yeah. And it only got worse as time went by. Yeah.
What do you think was causing that?
I'm not sure. Stress, anxiety, probably that.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, probably, honestly.
Was it a lot in your head? Just
Yeah, a lot in my
racing
head.
mind?
I mean, I even took melatonin and couldn't sleep.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Huh. So then, what do you think was the biggest lesson you learned about yourself getting through this whole thing?
That I am very disciplined, that I'm mentally strong, that I'm physically strong, that, you know, I really did not think I could do it at the beginning. I was like, I'm going to be eating this. Like, what? You know, and there's just so many temptations. I mean, you know, we have a large friend group, man. We're always, you know, getting together, drinking, eating, having a good time. We love the vacation. I'm like, there's no way I can do this. I mean, this is like 5 months of just pure hell. Like,
Yeah.
I can't do this. Sure enough, I could. And it makes me very proud that I was able to complete it.
That's awesome,
Yeah.
man. Do you think that's going to bleed into your mentality going into other things in life, like any
100%.
new challenges?
Yeah, definitely.
That's
Definitely.
good.
I'm more confident. I feel like that I did this. You know, I'm absolutely.
Yeah, I think that's important for everyone to experience, not necessarily this, but just going for something extremely challenging. And I think physical is one of the best ways to do it because unless you have some kind of actual injury or health issue or whatever, anybody outside of that is capable of putting their body through hell, and I feel like that's one of the biggest things that people can take away from it is wherever you think your limit is, it's way further than that.
Yeah, it's your mind telling you to stop. Your body
100%.
can take much more than you think it can.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I fully agree. Do you have a bigger appreciation for bodybuilders in general now?
1,000%. 1,000%. You know, some of these guys, like I saw something where Chris Bumstead, I don't know if you know who Chris Bumstead is. He won Olympia. He's won Olympia the last several years. Classic physique, same class I did. He was doing cardio like weeks leading up to the Olympia for 3 hours a day. Like that's like a third of his day. He's doing cardio.
Yeah.
Like that's insane.
And it's not easy cardio either.
He's on the stair stepper, which is just, I'm telling you, man, that thing, it's bad. It's bad. But yeah, no, I have a lot of respect for, professional bodybuilders, because they're on a much higher level than I am. Right. So they're having to do much harder things than I had to do.
Sure.
So,
yeah. And continuous, just one season after another or whatever.
One prep. Yeah. I think most only compete a couple times a year, but I mean, that's 5 months as a prep. So I mean, that's
and how much can you, especially at the higher level, how much can you let yourself go in between preps and still be able to make your mark?
Your off season has to be spot on, man. You have to, you're eating like that year round. You're eating like that year round. I would never.
That's commitment.
I like to splurge, man.
So then I guess my final question then is, did you get what you wanted out of the experience?
Yes, I did.
That's awesome, man.
I did, man. I really did. I enjoyed it. It was awesome. Like just the backstage, like just how like uplifting and positive all the athletes were back there. And man, you look awesome. Just it was an incredible experience.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's great, man. Well, thanks for coming.
Appreciate you having me, man.
Love the chat.
Yes, sir.
I definitely recommend anybody who's, like you said, in the gym already and, is considering it. I think it's a great way to really push yourself.
Really, really challenge yourself. Yeah, absolutely.
I love it, man. Thanks a lot.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me.
Yeah.